Hey everybody, I am gonna put together this April part 1. Yeah, this is April part 1 spread. I'm gonna put it together and it has been sitting in this tray for I don't even know how long. I got the photos printed from Persnickety Prints and I trimmed them horribly, so they're a little wonky in here. I may print them if they keep bugging me, but I'm probably just gonna leave it. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, I just started trimming photos weird. I don't know what I did. And also, the other problem that I found with this spread is that there seems to be a lot of darker colors. The red, and then some of the photos were black and white. Several of the photos were black and white. So the colors were not pulling bright colors and what I think of April. So it just sat, and I'm still not sure if I've got it right, but I have some wood veneer here and some stamps here, and then underneath in the tray I have a card and I have a bunch of chipboard. See, this is the color scheme I was originally going to go with, not the Currently Crafty. That's something different. But I was going to go with kind of, I took a photo of this card so I could get the color, and so I was going to go with this, and black and gray. But that just reminded me it was just too dark, and it was making me think of like December. I don't know why, but it was. So I went back to the drawing board to get brighter colors, and so I picked these chipboards with kind of the pink, maybe it's mauve, I don't know, but orange, and then I have a card that says Routines, and that has an orange, and then like I said, I have the stamps to bring in more. So I am hoping I can put this together and move forward with Project Life 2019. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Sabrina. I'm on a few design teams, and I just launched my first class with Big Picture classes. You can also check me out at Mrs. Scrap and Plan on Instagram to see more behind the scenes stuff. Okay, I'm gonna get started. Here I go. Okay, I am going to lay out both pages and just see what I have right now with the cards that I've picked out, the one card that I made, and then the different chipboard pieces. And then I am going to set pages aside and work on the cards one by one. I'm also going to wind up putting a few chipboards on top of the photos, but I just want to have everything out so I can see. And now, like I said, I'm going to go card by card and go from there. So I have this piece that says Just Thankful, and I'm going to use it. And I think I'm also going to use the word spring and just not use routines, because I'll use that later on. And then I'm also going to wind up using the flower stamp. I use this flower stamp in a different video. I will link it here in the suggestion box up above. But it is one where I did some gardening in April, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to include that flower stamp in every project for my April Project Life, kind of give it some consistency. So I'm stamping in Allie Edwards pink. It's not very noticeable, but that's okay. And then, like I said, I added the spring. And now for this digital card that I made using a polka dot digital stamp, I'm going to add on celebrating, because we celebrated the kids' open house and my husband's birthday, and then I went to a lunch with a friend and it was her birthday, and then also the kids had twin day at school. So there's a few different things that we were celebrating throughout the week. So I kind of just added celebrating on the polka dots and kind of finished the pattern up at the top of the card. And then just journal what I wanted to say as far as our celebrations. Now I am going to take that flower stamp again, and I am going to get some of the white paper that I like to stamp on, the HP presentation. I've linked it before, but I'll link it again. I'm going to stamp on that paper a variety of colors for the flowers, pink, orange, and brown, and then I'm going to fussy cut them and use them throughout my spread. I think eventually I'm going to have to go back and do a second round of stamping, but for now I have some to get started with. I'm, like I said, going to cut them out. And then what I'm going to wind up doing is on that photo of my husband and I, not my husband and I, my husband and our kids, I am going to take several of the flowers and kind of cluster them around that circle chipboard. And I think it's going to turn out pretty cool. I'm also going to use the chipboard up at the top of our shadow photo, and I'm going to cut the flowers in half, so it's kind of like peekaboo flowers, and I thought that'd be really cool too. So like 2 different ways to use the chipboard and the stamped flowers together. So I love coming up with different ways to use my stamps, and I'm continuing to figure out different ways to use my stamps. I also put a brown center in some of the flowers, and then I think a pink one for a few of the other flowers. I already need a few more flowers, so I'm going to stamp those, and then I'm going to start working on that cluster around the chipboard. And I was trying to use half of an orange flower and try to finagle it so you couldn't tell it was only half of an orange flower, but it didn't really work, and I kind of clustered 2 halves of an orange at the bottom of the chipboard. But overall, it worked out to be a really fun cluster to accentuate that cute photo of my husband and kids. And then I'm adding the flowers to that chipboard piece to make the little peekaboo, and then I will put the chipboard on top of the page protector. I don't put it, usually I just put it wherever I feel like I want to put it, but this time I just put it on the outside of the page protector. Now I'm going to move on to the second page, and I decided to go ahead and cut out 3 3x3 cards to kind of make my own, and then I will take out that routines card and just stamp routines using the stamp set. And that way, like I said, I'll have 3 that I'm making and then 1 digital one that I made using a journaling card I recolored. I kept that journaling card that I just put over to the left, I kept that pretty simple with just a chipboard and then some clustering of the flowers. And then the routines, like I said, stamped, and then stamped details, and then I'll just journal on that in a little bit. For this card, I am stamping a ton of different flowers in all the different colors that I'm using, and then I'm going to add in the word stories on the journaling card as well. So making my own custom journaling card using all the colors from the color scheme that I came up with, which I think is a pretty cool color scheme for spring, and it kind of resembles spring. It's much better than what I had to begin with, because what I had to begin with, like I said earlier, it reminded me of December or winter, and it was not going to work. And I added in a chipboard that says April, and then that one is finished. I also printed a love from a digital stamp, and I'm fussy cutting that out, and I'm sorry that it got cut off from the video, but I am going to build a card at the bottom with the love and a chipboard that says good stuff, and then also some flowers. I think I did kind of another peekaboo technique as well, and I'm just going to rotate a few of the cards to make sure that they're balanced, and that way I don't have like 2 focal journaling cards next to each other. I think I'm going to have to do one more switch, I think, later on. So like I said, this bottom card got kind of cut off, but I just layered on a bunch of flowers, chipboard, and then the love. I attached the April, and then I am going to attach everything to this card. I already built it, but I just left it so that way I could just have it sit for a few minutes and make sure that I really wanted this. I guess that was my thinking. But this page was a challenge, and that's why it sat for so long, because I just did not or could not figure out the different color schemes that I wanted to use. So I took a little tiny chipboard that said Our Story, I think that's what it said, put a little bit of flowers behind it, and now I'm just going to journal about the first part of our month and the different things that we are doing. And when I go to figure out kind of what was going on a year ago, more than a year ago now at this point, I look at my phone, I look at Instagram, kind of my private Instagram, and just figure out different things. And I'll also use my planner too to kind of jog my memory. So I'm gonna add in the love and finish up this spread. So overall, it came together great, and I really love how I made the journaling cards my own and made the stamps work for me. Okay, finishing up with a little bit of the peekaboo flowers, and then I will be done with the spread, and I am glad I stuck with it. Oh my goodness, I did it, you guys. I did it. I feel like I should do some sort of happy dance, but I am so excited to get this off the burner. As I like to say in my projects, I have lots of projects on the burners. I am so thrilled to have this one conquered, and I absolutely love how it came together. I came up with some, to me, unique ways to use my stamps. I used them to kind of peekaboo right there, cluster there, and then to also make my own pattern right there. So, this might be a longer process video, but I hope you enjoyed watching it and seeing this project come to life and me conquer this spread, and I appreciate you watching. I would love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you are new to my channel. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye.